My name is Jessica Williams. I did my interview on a friend of mine. She is an actress. She has some stage work in New York and a whole bunch of acting school behind her. Her name is Ari Green. I conducted this interview over email. She was not available at the time for a recorded interview. I only stuck with the 6 basic questions just because it was a very last-minute interview. So the first question that I asked her was, what do you see as the role of visual arts in our mass-mediated world, and particularly in your profession? And what she had to say was, I actually feel like our obsession with visual arts is partially responsible for technology becoming so popular. The things that are always being shown on commercials are the apps that allow us to watch YouTube, Netflix, and Hulu Plus on our phones. And then there's all the games that people become addicted to, or the fact that everyone now thinks they're an actual photographer because they can filter the iPhone pictures to make them look pretty, then post them on Instagram. There's even Tumblr, which offers people the opportunity to waste an entire day looking at pictures and photo sets of their television obsessions, along with new photography. Because of these things, I feel like there are more people that want to get the latest Apple or Android products as soon as they come out. All it takes is an upgraded camera and a screen with better display for it to become a hot item. And then at the same time, I feel as though my profession relies heavily on these things. If it's a play, we want to have the best lights, costumes, the most beautifully put together set, and so on. For a film, you want to use the greatest camera for the best picture, the best sound, you want the best effects. And then when a movie hits theaters, people will pay extra if it's in 3D. There's also the advertisements made to showcase our work, which is a whole lot easier now with the internet. It all ties together in the end. Question 2. With new communications and media technologies, imagery is almost instantly available. Do you believe that this is having a positive or negative influence on the industry? And please provide an example. Ari says both. I think it's amazing that we have access to great entertainment at the touch of our fingertips. If there's a movie I love, I can buy it on iTunes, and a minute later I'm watching it on my iPad. If I want to have a movie or TV show marathon night, there's Hulu Plus and Netflix, which offers so many different things to watch and on so many devices. It really feeds the lazy. If I'm lying down and I can't bear moving 2 feet to find the remote, I can pick up my phone and watch these things. It's great. Then there's YouTube, which struggling artists can post their own work, which I think is incredible opportunities for them if they play it right. I could also sit around for hours on end looking at pictures. It amuses me much more than anything else, because it's so easy, because photographers have their own websites and their own work posted on it, and you can find classics as well. One thing that I think is great is that incredibly talented freelancers can show off and sell their artwork. At the same time, YouTube of all the websites in the world can be the worst at the very same time. Some people will do absolutely anything for their 15 minutes of fame, and now that it's so easy to expose yourself, it sometimes becomes toxic. One thing that sticks out the most to me is Fred, that guy who has been making the dumbest videos for years now. He has that edited high-pitched voice and screams obnoxiously throughout the duration of the videos. Yet he's gotten not only an incredible amount of views, but also his own television show. Then I feel it gets even worse when there are aspiring singers who are just plain awful, and for some reason no one ever thought it to tell them that singing wasn't their thing to spare their feelings. They post a video and then suddenly it becomes viral and everyone's ending up bashing this person. And then the thing that annoys me the most is when people post fights. I know for a fact that some people instigate fights specifically for YouTube views. Not everyone can handle the responsibility of technology. Question 3. What popular images do you see that are frequently rechanneled throughout the entertainment industry? Ari says, the first thing that pops into my head is Leonardo da Vinci's painting, The Last Supper. There are so many instances where you'll see it recreated. I've noticed it being used in advertisements. It's been done in one of the early episodes of That 70s Show, and also in Miss Nothing, a music video for The Pretty Reckless. Question 4. Are there particular images in this industry that have been popularized and or created? Ari says, one of the things that I think is currently a big issue is being the perfect body. I mostly blame the fact that women who look miserably thin are the ones modeling clothes in all the pictures that we see. Then there are the reality television shows about finding the perfect model, and not only do they have to basically be starving to get through, but they have to be taller than the average height of the woman in the first place. Then they take a very small percentage of a body type and popularize it, and it ultimately messes with minds everywhere. Although I can't completely blame a magazine or a billboard as much as I'd like, because those body types are often favorable in movies, television shows, and music videos. Question 5. What is one of your favorite visual artists? Yes, sorry, that was my slip up. Artists. And/or what is your favorite style of visual art? A few of my favorites are Lucille Ball, Marlon Brando, and Charlie Chaplin, as for the film industry. When I have free time, though, I favor paintings. I could easily spend an entire day at a museum I've already been at 100 times, because there's always something new to study, or even if it's something you've already stared at countless times before. I unfortunately feel like painting is being replaced because it's so much easier to hold up a camera and snap a picture than it is to paint. I think the world needs new talent, and that can present work as fascinating as Rembrandt, there we go, or Vincent van Gogh. Question 6. How has your knowledge of famous artworks influenced your creative process? Ari has to say about that, I am forever influenced by past artists. The artists I have admired from a young age have always helped me want to be impulsive and a natural in a performance rather than to be thinking the entire time and forcing a performance. It's much more entertaining to be able to give in and get lost in the reality of a character that's been created, because it's believable. I also borrow aspects of some artists and the characters they've played to help form my own at times. Then there is also my obsession with pictures. Sometimes I will find a photograph or a painting that reminds me of a character I'm preparing. It's usually small things, such as a blend of colors that I feel relates to my characters in some way. I don't always expect people to understand my logic, but from there I can find a necklace or a ring that sports those colors, and even if no one else can see it, wearing it can help. Though the interview was a little last minute, I really do think that she gave some answers that really took a new perspective on things, and it's obvious she took the time to actually sit down and read through the email as opposed to just giving 1 or 2 word answers. So for that, I would really like to thank Ari Green for taking the time to actually go through and do this interview with me. My name is Jessica Williams, once again, and thank you very much.